Hey, what's up, fellas? I'm Luscious Female Fan Steve Alicious here, back with the week-long review of the Amazon Halo View. But before we get to all of that, thank you so much to all the new subscribers, oh so close to 6,100 as of the taping of this video. If you've been loving all the tech, both old and new, and fitness, go ahead and give that subscribe button a tussle. It certainly means a lot to me. Okay, so right up front with the Amazon Halo View, $79, by the way. Link will be in the description, and I gotta say it's good. I do think at the end of the day, it's worth the money, and I'm gonna talk about why. Couple things first. I wanted to clear up a couple of the mistakes that I made in the impressions video. The first one I think is important. The second one I don't think is important, and I think you should ignore. First one being, you can track your heart rate and stuff like that and steps from the screen without going into the menu as I was doing before. You could literally just swipe left and you'll get that information. I'm so used to the other ones of being on the face, or you just tap through or something like that. No problem. You swipe left, you can get heart rate, you can get your activity points, steps, all the rest of it. So you could do that right from the home screen, which makes that a lot more useful. And it makes not having a whole lot of options for your faces, your tracker faces, that much more palatable. You could just get the information that you need and have the fitness information. The second mistake I made was about the microphones on the device. There aren't microphones on this one. They were on the original Halo. It still does that voice tracking thing that I was talking about, but it does it through the app, which I don't even care. They took it off of this thing because it was claimed to be a little too invasive. Well, you think? I don't know how that would be a good idea to have something listening to you all day long just to tell you if you're monotone or not, or if you're stressed talking to somebody. The heart rate alone should be able to tell you that. But so I would leave that off. I wouldn't even worry about that, whether it has a microphone or not, which it does not. Let's talk about what it does do. You have to be willing to accept some things that the other trackers do. If you are looking for something like this as a smartwatch replacement, like your Fitbit can serve as, the Fitbit Charge at least, like some of your Garmin's can do because of the notifications, because of the call stuff, could be linked with Spotify to control music. This isn't doing any of that. It does notifications in the fact that it'll give you a text message notifications, and it does that well. It's a nice screen. It comes through. It looks good. You got the vibration. You can read the text. No problem whatsoever. But that's where the smartwatch functionality stops. And that's okay. That's not a negative. It's not in the job description, right? It's a fitness tracker. Those other companies include those things, which is nice. Now, a lot of them are more money. The Charge 5 is $130, right? This is $80. And you get a lot of the same functionality out of this one here. So let's talk about what it does do and what it does well. The activity stuff. Activity tracking is spot on. The automatic tracking, when you start an activity, if you don't even go in here and go through the menu and say, oh, I'm starting a workout or I'm starting an exercise, and you start one up without doing that, it just detects when you're doing a bit more, your heart rate's up, and you have no issue with that. It was accurate. It detected when I was bowling, because, it's a very strenuous activity for someone like myself. It was able to do the heart rate. It gave you the steps. It gave you the whole thing, and it tracked the entire activity and put it in the app, which was great. No problems whatsoever. Accuracy, steps, beats per minute for the heart, blood oxygen, all on level with, at the very least, the Apple Watch, which I've compared in the past to the Fitbit, the Garmin, and the Amazfit. Went step for step, slight variations, but you're going to get that, especially since they were on different wrists. The beats per minute, it was right on track, within 2 or 3, but again, you're going to get some variations, I guess, depending on what wrist it is, but incredibly accurate, which is what you want. You want something that, if it's going to do those things, you want them to be accurate, and it certainly is. They did a great job with the hardware on this. It's got that nice supple band that you can remove and replace. It's got the features that you'd want with the tracking. It has the blood oxygen. It tracks sleep. It tracks your sleep temperature. It does a fantastic job in the accuracy of detecting when you're in bed. So it'll tell you how long you spent in bed and then what time you actually fell asleep after being in bed, and it gets you a percentage and saying, well, you should be X amount percentage of time in bed without actually sleeping to kind of aid sleep. So it does a really great job kind of diagnosing and analyzing your sleep and giving you some pointers on better sleep as well. And that's where that beginner part of this comes into play. So it has a lot of that stuff with the recipes and the yoga positions and the different activities and exercises that it suggests, which is for a lot of it aimed towards beginner, which is perfectly fine. But what it also does is give you some basic general health tips, like your sleep that you could work on in order to get a more restful sleep. And it does all this. It does the deep sleep. It does REM. It does light sleep. It does your interruptions. And it does the sleep temperature, like I said. So it's full featured on the sleep. And the most important thing to me is the battery life using it for a full week. Now, I think to get best battery life, like with all things, you're going to want to turn the vibration motor off, or you're at least going to want to have text message notifications off, which is really no big loss here. That's the only thing it does. It's only giving you text, so turning that off I don't think is the end of the world, especially since you might have another smartwatch on your other wrist, you got your phone in your pocket, or you don't even care about it. Leave that off, and you are going to get to the 7 days. I was pleasantly surprised by that. You're just going to be squeaking across the finish line. You're just going to barely get up to the 7 days and want to run to a charger. So personally, I would, within 5 days, I would probably throw it on for 20, 30 minutes, top yourself off, and you're good to go for another week. But it can get there, which is rare for these trackers. I said, originally the drain, I was worried because it was coming in like the Charge 4, like some of the Garmin products, like some of the Amazfit ones for sure. They'll promise X amount of days and really come in at 60% of that. Well, kudos to Amazon. They promise 7 days, up to 7 days, and you can absolutely realistically get there without completely nerfing the tracker. You don't have to bring it down to like dim to where you could barely see it. You don't have to turn off constant heart rate monitoring. You don't have to turn off sleep tracking or any of that stuff to kind of, cheese your way to a week. You could get there using it full featured, which is quite nice. The app, listen, you're getting most of the features paying the $3.99 a month. I don't like that. I don't like it on Fitbit either. That's the way of the world. You're going to have to deal with that. So see, we'll go back into the app. I wish the app displayed information a little bit differently. But overall, if you're okay spending that $3.99 a month, after you get 6 months free or something, and then they start billing you. But overall, the app is good. Once you get into what you want to get into, when you get into sleep and it starts giving you the data and you kind of go back and it gives you the weekly average scores and stuff like that, if you break it down, time in bed, time of sleep, REM, light sleep, all that stuff that we were talking about. So the app can get you the information that you need. You got to dig for it just a little bit. But overall, it's good. It's there. It's clean. It gives you those bonus pointers, those different fitness things and all the rest of it for beginners or stuff. If you just need ideas, if you're out of ideas for meals, if you have recovery shoulder strain, if you're just having problems with your shoulder or something like that, physical therapy type stuff, obviously not a replacement for that, but something that can help you ease a little bit of pain or get you back into activity. It's great for all that stuff. It connects really well. The Bluetooth works, no problem. Leaving a room, coming back into a room, it reacquires, it saves it, it syncs up, it has the data in here. Overall, you're going to be happy. If you're looking for just something that does the job of a fitness tracker, does it well, you don't need all the fancy bells and whistles that come with those smartwatch features that some of the others provide for you, but for more money, this is going to absolutely do the job. It is well built. It is not cheap by any means. It gives you the battery life. The display is the best display on any one of these trackers. Hands down. I haven't seen the Charge 5 yet, but it is a fantastic high-definition display. It's great in sunlight. It's plenty bright. And this is on the medium setting. It still has one more setting pumped up from here, but I didn't even feel the need. I do wish that it was a little bit smarter in terms of eliminating notifications at night. I really have to go in there and put on night mode because otherwise the race to wake keeps going. But you could set times. If you're someone who's in bed at a certain time every night, you could set, hey, from X p.m. to X a.m. I don't want race to wake notifications. It'll just remember that, so you could go ahead and set that. Basic functions, smartwatch, timer, alarm, no issues there. Overall, worth the $80. Good job from Amazon. Room to improve, things they can add, different tracker faces that they could put on there, different optimizations they can make to the app. But overall, a solid entry, a solid effort. You save yourself a few bucks. You have the different bands. You have the different options here. Overall, I think it's definitely worth your money. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-alicious day.